Da, 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 da. Ba, da, ba, da, da, ba, da, da. Da, 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 ba, da, 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 ba, ba. Beer, beer, beer. Bonk.
Welcome to Let Me Ask My Dad podcast. I'm spitting. I'm Gabby Bryan. Who are you?
I am David Bryan.
And we're screaming. And we are screaming.
For happiness.
For joy. We're screaming with joy because we're in Nashville, Tennessee, one of our favorite places on goddamn earth.
Yes.
And we're doing our podcast.
Here in Nashville, Tennessee?
Here in Nashville, Tennessee, we are doing our podcast. And I'll say it one more time. We're doing our podcast in Nashville, Tennessee.
You know why?
Why?
Because we're in Nashville, Tennessee.
Exactly right, doing our podcast.
Exactly, at
If
a
you can
podcast
imagine.
studio.
At a podcast studio in Nashville, Tennessee.
In an undisclosed
in which
location.
We're doing a podcast in Nashville, Tennessee.
Which means our advice can be given from anywhere. That's how good it is.
It's global.
That's right.
Well, it's domestic right now.
Domestic, but we could be, if we were on the moon right now, our advice still would be the same, except we would need air.
I have such bad acid reflux, I couldn't imagine being on the moon. I couldn't imagine that.
Why on the moon? What are you eating with acid reflux on the moon? There's dirt. There's nothing to eat there.
I don't even know if there's dirt. I thought it was moon dust.
It's moon dirt.
Moon dirt. I thought that gravity makes everything worse. So I'm assuming if acid is going up on Earth, I could only imagine it's going out my fucking eyes on the moon.
No, it just hangs. It doesn't do anything. It just floats.
Oh, you think?
Yes, your acid just floats.
Oh, maybe I'll be way healthier and less Jewish on the moon.
Yeah, there's no complaining because nobody can hear you.
Yeah. And a Jew complains in the woods, but no one hears him. Did he complain at all?
Exactly. Hello. Which brings us to our first question.
Okay. On the podcast today, we have no set theme. We have a misc episode. We have just questions of various categories.
Oh, so that's like a potpourri even of questions.
What? I've never heard you say potpourri, and it's also so, honestly, abrasive to hear the word potpourri in
It's
a
another
Jersey
one I
accent.
can't spell. I can't spell it either.
In a Jersey accent, potpourri.
We usually say, hey, is that fucking potpourri over there?
Hey.
That's how we bring
Are you just calling
beauty
someone
and harmony
gay?
to it.
Potpourri.
I didn't call anybody anything. You don't put those words in my mouth.
Sorry. Sorry, guys.
Okay, so let's get to the potpourri of questions.
Well, we have a question to ask. It's a very specific question before we get into the questions.
Oh. A pre-question.
It's a pre-question. It's a pre-game.
Okay, let's do it.
And it's a Bryan-specific question.
Okay.
And it is, if you two switched jobs, who would last the longest in the other's profession? Pretty good. It's pretty good.
I think it's a tie.
I also think it's a tie.
We would be great. Because we are beautiful and wonderful and so talented, we both can just morph into anything.
Even on the moon.
Even on the moon.
Even on the moon. I think you would be a great comedian. Why don't you tell one of your Sam Kinison stories? Can you tell those on air?
No.
But we've already talked about you doing meth, and that's really the only
Yeah, but that's a kid show. No, I can't even say anything. He was a great comedian. He was funny and wonderful.
So David Bryan here was good friends with Sam Kinison, R.I.P.
Yes.
And you would hang out and just talk.
Yes.
And drink Gatorade.
Yes, and just once we were leaving the Bible class,
Mm-hmm.
It was early. We snuck out. We were dangerous.
Yeah.
And he would go to the comedy club.
Yeah.
So we'd be all fucked up, and then he would go to the comedy club. I could barely even speak. I thought he could barely speak.
Sugar high.
And he goes on stage. Oh, yeah, so much Gatorade. And then he would go on stage, and he was amazing. Intelligent and just, like, slam it, like, be great.
But you always loved comedy. I feel like you could be a comedian. You went on stage with me once.
I did. I did a half hour.
You did a half hour. We did a half hour of comedy together. It was my first show. I was like 3 years into comedy, maybe even 2 years. And there was like 40 people there in Brooklyn.
At the way station.
At the way station in Brooklyn, RIP, which is closed now. And
I closed the
because
joint.
of COVID. You closed the joint. And he was going to come on stage. We planned nothing. There was just a keyboard and 2 microphones.
Thank God there was a keyboard.
And right before we were about to go on, he was like, I can't do it. I'm like, what do you mean you can't do it? And he goes, I just think I need to start smaller. And I'm like, this is the smallest it gets.
You're home. Now you're here. That's it. This is the step you're looking for.
There's 40 people here. You've done Madison Square Garden. You'll be fine. And you were hilarious.
I did. I did really good. I remember I came out and you and then you went, everybody, and now my dad. How you feeling? I went, disappointed.
Perfect.
Everybody laughed.
Perfect opening joke.
It's a perfect opening joke because you did a song with that other musician keyboard
Keith
playing.
Morocco, shout out.
Yep, there you go. And you did Come Smoothie was your
Oh,
song.
I forgot about that.
And I came on, I said, you go, why are you disappointed? I said, because that was that song Come Smoothly. And you went, it's not smoothly, it's smoothie.
That's so insane to say out of context.
It's wacky.
Yeah. That I did not have a song called Cum Smoothie. I had a line in a song that said I would drink a cum smoothie, which is not even true if you consume any of my content. I haven't given a blowjob in years. So it's not even actually true.
Don't talk that way in front of me. But anyway, I went up there. I crushed it. It was wonderful.
Yep.
So yes, I am a comedian. And you're a musician. And Gabby sings her ass off. She really is a great singer.
I was a musician for years and years.
And can play. Once I came home from a tour, or actually Lexi, my wife, was home. I wasn't home.
Yeah.
And Gabby was playing the piano, and she's singing the song Love of My Life. And Lexi was recording it going, she sent it to me. I'm like, we got to get this kid a record deal. This is the greatest song. This is the greatest everything. She's killing it. And
you might know that song from the band Queen.
So, yes, disappointingly found out it wasn't her song. She still sang it great. I was like, oh, well, don't hang up the phone. We don't need the record company anymore.
Yeah, hang up the phone. Cut the line.
It's not her song.
I think this is why I also think we'd be great at each other's jobs is because I'd love at this point in stand-up comedy, doing it by myself on stage all the time, having someone else on stage, like when I host with, Zach or Steph or something like that, having a full band sounds so, not to shit on your career, easy. Having to just play songs that are rehearsed and set in stone, and there's a bunch of other guys doing the same exact thing on stage, sounds like such a goddamn break.
Don't you make my job easy. It's different. It's a team sport.
Yeah, I haven't played a team sport in a long time.
But it still has, there's individuals in the team.
Yeah.
I always said there's no I in team, but there is an ME, in case you're wondering.
That's good.
Nice.
That being said, I can barely play piano anymore. I think I lost the skill. So that's the hard part is the years of classically training
that you didn't
piano
have.
That I don't have.
That you didn't have.
Which is your fault, by the way.
You guys wanted gum and stickers and candy and learn how to play Jonas Brothers songs, and I'm like, this is Beethoven.
That part's true. This is the truth of the matter. This is actually let's solve an issue right here. I have a gripe.
Wow, look at this. This show is the whole theme has changed.
Slowly, I'm going to be sneaking in parental gripes this entire season.
I'm a dad, so I could take it.
Yeah. So you famously were classically trained in piano.
Yes.
10-hour days training in piano.
7 years old.
7 years old.
Yes.
And because of that training, you're now in one of the top bands in the world. Confirm or deny?
Confirm.
Great. So that equation, let's say, is proven to work.
Yes.
So then you decided to go against God and have kids.
Yes.
Okay. And you said, great, I'll start them on piano lessons.
Twins even.
At 5.
Side by each.
And you hired, and bless him, I love him, but
Anthony,
a pothead piano player to train us in piano when we started at 5. And he would bribe us with candy and gum.
And stickers.
Right? But because you were so, strict with your training growing up, you weren't strict with us. So we didn't practice at all. We had a pothead piano teacher. And now I could barely turn on a fucking keyboard. Don't you think you would have repeated that same equation?
If I had to go back in time.
Yep.
I still would have ignored you at that time. No.
I started piano lessons at 5. I could be fucking Beethoven by now.
Could have been, but you didn't want to work that hard.
Nope, that's your fault.
Didn't want to work that hard. You had the opportunity.
That's your fault. It's your job as a parent to say, why don't you sit down and practice?
Okay, let's start right now. You're going to be a piano player. You need to spend 10
I don't have the time.
Okay,
I have to
don't
do
worry.
Instagram.
Let's just, you know what? If you're out there and you have young children, don't let them have a piano teacher with gum and stickers. Let it be classical and let them do it for real, and enough with the hobby stuff. Make it, put some sweat and equity into this thing,
I'll take that as an apology.
Okay.
I could be Beethoven by now.
Exactly. Dead and rolling over. Go.
Dying at 35 on meth. God damn it. Okay. So I accept your apology.
Good.
And let's do our first question.
Okay. Wow, that wasn't even a first question yet. That was just statements. Okay.
No, yeah. Well, the whole first question was if you two switch jobs, who would last the longest?
Right.
And I would say we would both do amazing.
You
would be a hilarious comedian.
Yes.
And I would be an amazing rock and roller.
You would be Taylor Swift, better than Taylor Swift.
Don't say that.
Sorry.
Because the Swifties will come for us.
Oh, I didn't mean that. I mean, you would be her contemporary.
Nice. They're like violent. You have to be careful of them.
Oh no, you two would collaborate and make something even greater.
Even that.
You can't collaborate with her?
No, just like say she's the best person in the world.
Oh, she's duh.
Great. Moving on. Question 1. Please, I don't want to get killed by a 14-year-old.
No.
Question 1. How do you know if the person you are in a relationship with is the one? Dad, why don't you take that away? I have no knowledge with that.
By knowing who's not the one.
Go into that. That's
right?
good.
So I think you find out who the one is by, we used to have a monitor man who would say that he would just, he had a girlfriend, he goes, and I would cheat on her and sleep with all these other girls just to see if I felt bad and if she was the one. So it's negative. It's a negative thought. I don't agree with that. Some people believe in that. I don't.
Uh-huh.
I think when it's the one. I don't even know why I said that, but that's another way to look at it.
Yeah, sure. That's an interesting alternative way.
I don't suggest doing it.
To find out.
Yes. If you feel bad, she's the one.
She's the one. But then you have another bridge to cross, which is the cheating.
Well, the 82 other ones that it took to get to the one that you think is a special one. I would say it's, you just know.
How do you know? How did you know Lexi was the one?
I think you know. You look at that person, you look in their eyes, you love them, you love everything about them, you're going to be a team, you have each other's back. That's the biggest thing. And there is, like I said, there is no I in team, but there is an M-E.
Mm-hmm.
And together, you just know it. You have this great feeling. It's very hard to say what that is. It's not good enough for you yet?
No, you're getting there. That was more of like a poetry slam.
Yeah. Oh,
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you were on board.
That.
Yes, it's it's looking in each other's eyes and knowing that you can live till you're old, feeble.
Yeah.
Taking
ugly.
care of each other. Well, never ugly.
That's true.
That's impossible.
I know you're the one if you're 6'4" with a full head of hair.
Yes, and you invented Google.
Yeah, trust fund.
There you go.
Well, I told you that I went to a psychic with Tourette's on Long Island recently.
Right. What? Yes.
What? And she talked like this, and she was like, you haven't found the one yet, but he's coming. You're going to meet him in a few years through work, and he's going to be 6'4" with a full head of hair. That's what she told me. So if you're not going to believe a psychic on Long Island with Tourette's, who are you going to believe?
I think that's the one to believe in.
Yeah. It was so funny. First of all, this was obviously, and of course, $400. And she apparently had a bunch of like my ancestors coming to her. Like that's her thing. And she was like, talking like, oh, this is fucking crazy. There's all these people in here. And she goes, no fucking way. Out of nowhere. No fucking way. And I was like, what? And she goes, there's like your ancestors from Ireland in here. Like there's like people with fucking accents in here. She goes, this is crazy. I was crying laughing.
Wow.
And then at one point she's like, you're gonna work in London a lot. You're gonna live in a flat. And then she looked at me and she goes, what's a flat? And I was like, oh, it's what they call apartments in London. And she goes, oh my God, see, I didn't even know that. Like she was like trying to prove her powers to me by saying
She didn't know what a flat was.
God, it was delicious.
And you weren't allowed to record it.
No.
Could you take notes?
No.
No.
She took notes for me on construction paper, and they were illegible.
Nice.
It was the best day of my life. I went to Whole Foods afterwards and ran into an old friend. So yeah, I don't know what it's like to find the one because I'm still searching, and apparently I won't find him for a few more years through work. But the psychic did tell me that I was going to end up in Tennessee.
Oh. Today?
No,
did she give you a date?
Today. So she's right. No, at the end of my time.
Oh. What time?
On Earth.
In the spirit world, you're going to go into Nashville, Tennessee?
No, I'm gonna settle down in Tennessee.
Oh, excellent! Sounds.
I'm dying to end up with a cowboy.
That sounds like a family
with a trust
affair.
fund.
Family affair.
Okay.
Okay.
Question 2. How can I kick my addiction with drugs and alcohol without telling my parents? Oh.
Well, the first rule of thumb is never tell your parents.
See, I'm in the opposite camp where, like, growing up, we had a rule that I would not get in trouble as long as I told you everything.
Yes.
So.
You lied.
I lied. No, I told
you.
I would get, I mean, when you were on tour and it was just us and Lexi in the house, I would get high and then I would go knock on her door and I would say, just so you know, I'm high. And she would say, okay. Say, I'm going to sleep, but if I die tonight, it's because I'm high on drugs. But it was like weed. It wasn't anything crazy.
Oh, it sounds...
I think you have to, I mean, it depends on if your parents are cool or not. Because I would just tell them. Because then they'll pay for rehab. So if
it's on their insurance till you're 26 anyway.
Yeah, we don't know how old they are though. But if you're concerned about your parents, you're under 26.
Yeah, that's true. You don't really give a shit after 26.
Yeah. So I would say tell them. Big sob story, waterworks, everything.
Oh, yeah.
Say, I need to go to rehab, specifically that one that's apparently in Palo Alto that's really nice.
Exactly. And I need Supreme sneakers to go there.
Yeah, because, or also, like, Demi Lovato will make fun of me.
That's right. And I need my, Gucci everything.
I need Gucci luggage, or else all the cool people at rehab are going to make fun of me.
That's right. My Louis Vuitton sleeping bag.
Milk it. Yeah, I would tell them so they pay for rehab, obviously.
Well, it sounds like is this young person having a problem with drugs? Is what it's saying?
Yeah, they have a drug and alcohol addiction.
Oh, well, yeah, definitely tell your parents and stay off drugs. Go to school.
So unhelpful. It was so unhelpful. Not only were you not listening to the question, the advice at the end was just garbage. They can't stay off drugs. They're already on drugs.
Oh,
it's too late.
Okay, well then go get help. Go get help. I fully support your journey to get help, to talk to your parents, to get sober, to come on our podcast. And
you're inviting them on the podcast.
Yes.
We can't have an addict on the podcast.
Okay, sorry. We don't allow addicts here.
No, not that. Let's find a happy medium of those two opinions.
Okay, we want half addicts.
Yeah, fun. We're just not.
No. Listen.
You shouldn't be around us if you're trying to get sober.
No, we're not good for your sobriety.
We're not good for your healing journey.
But we can give good advice. Go to rehab.
Go to rehab and get your parents to pay for it. That's my advice.
Exactly.
But go to a nice one because the bad ones are apparently really
go
bad.
west. If you go west, they're all great in California and stuff.
Oh, yeah. I think there's a really good one in Connecticut, though.
Yeah,
I had a friend who just went to a rehab in Nashville, actually. Said it was nice.
No, you want to go to L.A.
My friend was talking about going to rehab for, like, anxiety.
They have that?
They have that now. Yeah, they do.
How much is that?
That's a lot. Selena Gomez went to that. And
it's a real thing.
She was describing it to me, and I was like, God, I would love a break like that.
Oh, yeah. It's like $40,000 a week. You got beautiful beds. You got mountains behind you. You got coffee. Everybody's smoking their asses off, drinking coffee.
Meditate.
Yep. You're home.
Go to rehab. It sounds
easy
like
and simple. There's no taxes.
Sounds nice.
Yeah.
Dad, I have an anxiety disorder, and I think
I
need to go to rehab. Do you want to go to rehab together?
We're in it right now.
It is a little white in here. It's good.
We have coffee, and I don't smoke cigarettes, but I could start.
Do you think after New Year's this year, we just quickly light stop at rehab? Anxiety rehab, not booze and alcohol. I want to keep doing that.
I am 100% non-anxious and 100% sober when I am sleeping. So I put 8 hours in a day of sobriety and non-anxiety.
It's not a bad point.
Just fucking sleep. You're fine. When you wake up, start the next day.
Sort of beautiful advice somehow. Like it's giving like Eurydice in a way.
Wow.
Where, yeah.
I don't even know what that word is.
Exactly.
Eurydice.
Well, I was lying about it anyway, so it's not important.
Good, because I don't know what it means.
Exactly. Question, it's a Greek
Is there
myth.
a cream?
It's Greek myth. It's not a cream. It's not creamer. It's not hazelnut creamer. Oh shit, is that cream? What? You're sick. Question 3.
Yes.
What is the number one thing I should do after leaving and finally being free from a religious cult? Wait, let me read that one more time.
Really?
I slurred. What is the number one thing I should do after leaving and finally being free from a religious cult?
I know.
Wow, that's awesome.
I have the 100% answer.
Say, crack.
Come into my religious cult.
Nice.
I have Bryanetics. So you heard of Dianetics?
Yeah.
I'm Bryanetics.
Mm-hmm.
And you will have full enlightenment.
Uh-huh.
Once you give me 99.99% of all the money you have and that you make.
Yep.
Then you come into my Bryanetics, and
Yep.
then you will be enlightened. You'll be lighter financially, and you will be full and whole. And full
and whole. I don't think you can say full and whole in regards to
wholly
a cult.
full and fully whole.
It is, you know.
See that? That's my spirituality. You're and
Don't
fully whole.
do that.
I know I didn't. I was kind of, but I didn't. Fully whole,
Lizzie,
fully
bleep
full.
that.
But
Lizzie,
well, I
bleep
guess I just stopped.
Here's
Bryanetics, though, it's perfect.
Here's the thing that I love about you, and it proves that you're such a business person at the end of the day, is you see someone who is weak from leaving a cult, someone you know you could take advantage of, someone who is easily manipulated, and you pluck them right back up into your cult.
You know what I smell? Opportunity.
God, that's good.
Yeah.
If that's not the lesson we learned from this episode, I don't know what is.
The door opens up. Welcome to my cult. You just left the other one. I'm going to show you how mine is so much better than yours.
Exactly right. Come through these beaded curtains.
Exactly. And
oh my God, I always think Bryanetics, Illuminati.
Bryanetics.
Do you think the Illuminati is real? And if so, why weren't you invited?
It's not. I'm not affiliated with them in the Bryanetics. We're not affiliated.
They're not.
No, we're not affiliated.
It's like Pfizer and Johnson & Johnson.
It's just we're a 501(c)(3) and they're a 503(c)(1). So
You're a non-for-profit.
Yeah, and they're for-profit, so
it's completely different.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm so.
Wow, a religious cult.
A religious cult. I'm so. You need to write in more and tell us more. I've always said that I would join if someone talked to me for 30 minutes, I would join a cult.
Join a gym.
Join a gym. That's your advice.
Yeah. And go to McDonald's is the first thing you can. Be free. Now that you're out of this religious cult. Yeah, who doesn't love a Big Mac, French fries, and vanilla shake? And then join like Orange Theory or some kind of what's the new fitness thingy?
How do you know what Orange Theory is? That actually shocked me.
Because I get emails and I don't know what it is, but I see that I should join it, but I don't want to.
Oh, really? I think I put your email down on accident once.
There you go. So
I love Orange Theory. That's a good point. There's different layers of cults, right? Yes. There's the religious ones that are bad. There's the sex ones that are bad. There's what's that one that is actually cult?
They're all cults.
Church of
cults. Church. It's always
triumphant.
It's good to be a cult leader.
Work your way up. Try to get promoted to cult leader. Start your own cult. You have all this knowledge of being in a cult.
Come to my cult. Don't let them start their own. You're ruining Bryanetics.
I'm trying to be positive.
I need a mission statement, and then I need one follower.
Lizzie, can you write a mission statement, please? This is your first follower, but if you're not interested in joining another cult, start your own cult. It's like when you start at a boutique agency and then you work for a big one. You have so much knowledge you could create your own at this point.
You're in aisle 3 in Home Depot. Now you start your own Home Depot.
Exactly right. Turn this into a pyramid scheme. Work for Amway. I don't know where I'm going with this.
I know. It's like, whoa.
There's so many different layers of cults. You could maybe start weaning yourself off of cults.
Well, no, if they're out.
But they're out, but maybe they feel too loosey-goosey in life, then that's why you have to go to Orange Theory or skin laser.
I think you need to take up a bad habit.
Oh, like what?
Drinking. Go to a bar.
Now that you're free.
Now that you're free, go to a bar and play pool. Be a really good pool shark.
That's hot.
And take people's money.
In
the name of God.
You're bringing God back into it?
With pool.
We're giving you some of the most random things to do. Wow.
But you're going to make it, though.
The other day I was at a show, and I was talking to these girls in the front row, and they met in a math cult. There was a cult based on math. This is true.
That's a club. It's not a cult.
It's a cult. And
in high school, they had math club.
They described it as a cult, and it's in between like 3 universities. It was like Oxford, MIT, and Harvard or something. And it's this math cult.
What is the evilness that he does?
And I was like,
pi is square. Pi is not round.
I know. They jerk off to Pythagoras or something.
I know.
And
I was like,
what happens in a math cult? And they were like, we figure out the world's issues. And I'm like, okay, there's a little cult energy to that. And I was like, did you end up having sex with the head of the cult leader? And they said, yeah. And I was like, wow, even at nerd cults, they're having orgies.
Which is important if you're going to be a cult leader.
I mean, is that what we've learned, the definition of a cult?
Yes. Huh. That's why Bryanetics makes sense.
Ew. Ew. What is the number one thing to do after leaving?
I would say get in your car, drive, put on a good rock and roll station, put on a Bon Jovi satellite station.
Nice.
Because that you're going to have a good traveling, and drive to Nashville to the Bon Jovi bar.
Yeah.
And get some drinks, get some food, leave the whole cult thing behind.
You're just trying to get them closer so they could join Bryanetics.
Well, once they're in the Bon Jovi bar, then I could start to talk to them. I'll be there all the time on my booth.
You're
David
always
Bryan
welcome.
booth.
You have to wear white.
Yep. Check in. Say I used to be in a cult. I go, we're taking orders right here for Bryanetics. Get on the list. You can DM me for that. I don't even know what a DM is.
You don't know what a DM is? What do you think it stands for?
Direct message.
Nice. That's right.
Wow.
That
was a guess.
That was shocking.
That was a guess.
You're welcome. Okay, question 4.
Is it another person now?
Yes.
The cult person's done, huh?
The cult person, I mean, we gave you about 35 different options of things to do. Last question. Is it a good idea to get a character from a movie or comic tattooed on your body? Oh, fuck. I mean, if anyone could talk about this, it's us.
And me.
Yeah.
I have the Tasmanian devil on my shoulder.
And
I have the Joker on my chest.
And how do you feel about those tattoos?
The one on my back, I really can't see. I only see it in mirrors. I think it's stupid to get a tattoo on your back because you're always like, I can't see it.
Uh-huh.
But I was like, I always thought I was a Tasmanian devil. So I went and
what does it mean?
I went to Manville, actually, Manville, New Jersey, and I got my tattoo when I was 18 years old.
Uh-huh.
And my father had a rule with me. He said, if you ever get a tattoo, I'm going to cut it off with a knife.
Uh-huh.
Which was, kind of not really hard to not understand.
It's intense.
And I was driving, I was driving down, and he was driving up on our road. And on our street. And he looked back, he goes, is that a tattoo on your back? And I stepped on the gas.
Uh-huh.
I went to my friend's house. I called up on the phone because there weren't cell phones then.
Yeah.
And I said, put all the knives out on the lawn, and I'm going to count.
Uh-huh. I
want to know all the knives are out there. Don't cut it off me.
Yeah.
He was very upset.
And then you got the big Joker tattoo.
And I get this gigantic Joker tattoo on my chest in 1989, actually. And my father and mother at the time both looked at me, and their eyeballs were like this. And I looked at my mother, I went, Cadillac. And my father went, Lincoln. And they went, okay, we love it.
We love your new tattoo.
We love it. We love tattoos.
Oh, God, bribing rocks. See, comic book tattoos are towing the line. I think he lucked out and he looks cool, but that's because he has a very specific look, okay? I can't imagine you look like him. No one really looks like him.
No,
so it can either be cool like that, or you look like you give blowjobs in the dressing room at Hot Topic. And that's not an amazing look, I would say. So I'm going to...
Sounds like a tramp stamp.
Exactly. So I'm going to say... if you're going to get a tattoo, and I have a lot of tattoos and I regret every single one of them, okay? So I want you to keep that in mind. At 30, I thought I looked so cool with all these tattoos, and now I'm like, well,
lasering them off all the time.
I'm literally lasering everything off. So keep that in mind. Okay. I think if you're going to get a tattoo, get something cool that's like American traditional style or, classic Japanese style. Don't get something
American flag on your forehead?
Don't do that because that feels Proud Boys energy. I would say if you're going to get like Harley Quinn on the side of your body, like that is so embarrassing.
Yeah, that is pretty, it's not hot.
It's not cute. It's a little cringe. That being said, if you really love it, and if you're in band camp and, and that's like you're all with all the nerds and you're all sort of doing that, then fine. But I think it will look bad. I think it'll look bad.
What would you think would be a cartoon approved, Gabby Bryan approved cartoon?
I think the Joker is cool. And I'm just saying that because I have your credit card on my Amazon account.
Exactly.
I think
smart choice.
That's another comic.
You're the kids. Don't you do that cosplay
John has the
thing?
I don't do cosplay. I'm 30 years old. I'm a 30-year-old woman.
I don't even know what that means.
Cosplay. What do you think I'm doing? What's it called when you do fake swords in the park? LARPing. I don't know why I put it. LARPing. LARPing is when you do fake sword fights in the park.
That's a fake word.
LARPing. Exactly right. I would say don't get this tattoo. I'm begging you. I'm begging you not to get it.
Or get it clear.
And that's a waste of money. Just get a fun T-shirt. Get a fun T-shirt with that character
of
on
your
it.
Of your favorite character.
Yep. Or get those mesh sleeves that are fake tattoo sleeves.
That's good too. We had those.
But I would never get it. We have to go. Don't get it. I'm going to say it one more single time. Please don't get that tattoo. I'm begging you. And we have to go. That's the pod. Thank you. Submit your questions via direct message and let me ask my dad pod@gmail.com. We love you so much and we'll see you next week.
Gabby is my girl.
Daddy is my dad.
We play together.